Testimony continued today in the most notorious criminal trial in Richland County. Dr. John Boyle is accused of killing his wife Maureen and burying her body.
The 12-year-old son finally took the stand.
Boy confidently told the jury it was his decision to testify against his father.
I heard a scream. I heard a thud. It was about this loud.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
I decided at an early age that our trauma should not be what defines us. It's what we choose to do with it that does. I'm here to share my unique perspective on true crime, mental health, society, and popular culture, and always with a slight sense of humor. I'm Collier Landry, and welcome to my show. Mover Nation, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on a Tuesday evening? Everybody, hey, what's happening in the world? Mover Nation, thank you so much for joining me. I am bringing back a fan favorite. He's got his Southern charm, his wits, and a whole lot of knowledge. Dr. Roger Rhoades is going to join the program today. I'm very excited to have him on here. We are going to talk about everyone's favorite topic of the moment, which is, of course, P. Diddy, his arrest, but also his life that he is leading behind bars, because somebody just texted me and they said, hey, look, do you know that he's eating steak every night and that he's able to have certain accommodations in jail? And I said, yeah, like, have you ever been to prison? Have you ever spent any time there? As someone who has spent more time in a prison than any free man ever should, having a father who's incarcerated, there's money can buy a lot of things for you in prison. And if you have it, quite a bit of protection, it can buy you nice things from the commissary, which can also allow you to get those things for other people. But we're going to talk about that with Dr. Roger. I'm so glad to have him on. Welcome, everybody. But please, obviously, give it up for my guest, back by popular demand, Dr. Roger Rhoades. Hey, man, how are you?
Yeah, time to get down with the Diddy, dear buddy, and in jail. But there it is. Well, you know, the steak or not, it's still jail.
Steak or not, it's still jail.
There's where you got to look at it. And you know that I bet a lot of people said Diddy would never go to jail. They would give him bond. They would do all this. We're in a different era of guilt these days. And boy, when you've got camera work with your guilt, oh, that's a big deal. You know, Diddy was a cameraman, and that's going to come back, I believe, and bite him.
You know, it's interesting you said that, because I had Nima Rahmani Esquire on yesterday, attorney here in Los Angeles. And he was with West Coast Trial Lawyers. Got to give him a plug. He was kind enough to join the show, and we were talking about the implications of, and this is something I talk about when I discuss a lot of true crime stuff, and we can discuss this as well. Is not only is it the actual acts that are committed by the perpetrator,
right, that
are devastating, but it's the people who they drag into their web. And not just the people who they've dragged in terms of the victims that they're perpetrating these particular acts on or committing these crimes on, but the people who become their accomplices by default. And you talk about the cameraman, right? Look, I'm a cinematographer for over a decade here in Hollywood. I have taken videography jobs at parties, you know, where nothing like this was going on, but I'm sure, you know, you can think of people doing all kinds of shenanigans behind closed doors where you're not invited. And these people have now become entangled in these types of things. And if they were involved in bringing camera equipment or refreshments or alcohol or things like that, now they have become a part of the syndicate, if you will. And
well, Diddy is the king spider. Okay. Sure. And what you're talking about is the web that the spider weaves.
Yes.
He wove a very big web for people out there, and a lot were caught in it, and it's sad. But you know, that comes you know, if you got to pay the piper at some point, you've got to say, well, wait a minute, you know.
Yeah.
Do something, but here's the thing that a lot of people don't grab. You can do a lot of things, but you can't do it for free. People
Yeah.
believe, oh, this is to my benefit, and they don't look at, oh, could there possibly be a cost in this choice?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then knew the button to push for them to ignore the cost. What's this going to cost me? Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. You're gonna be, great things. You're going to be, what you're going to get by doing this is the most powerful thing in entertainment, and that is a connection.
Yeah.
This will provide you a connection that no money can get that for you. But because I know people that know people that know people, I can connect you. Wow. And then you have to look at, is connection free? And what I'm saying is connection's not free. It comes with a cost. And a tough deal. A lot of people got into it, but they didn't realize, this is gonna cost me. And that's what we're gonna see in all this.
Yeah, and it is a big deal. By the way, Dr. Roger, your monitor is bouncing where your camera is. Maybe yeah, you're all good. I don't want anybody to get seasick.
I'm filming from a bouncy house. Come on now, give me but thank you.
I feel like I live in a bouncy house, but that just might be just because I
sometimes you just got to have a bouncy to get it done.
I tend to agree with that statement for sure. So getting into a little more nuance. So you've known a few shady people in your time, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And we've talked about.
I've been in and worked in prisons for a while too. So
yeah,
I've seen the deal.
Yeah. What is the deal? You're frozen right now.
I'm frozen.
Hopefully you can still hear me. It froze up a little bit. But good evening, y'all. Good evening, Aunt Jemima. I'm gonna go a couple shout outs too.
Okay.
Good to see you, Gen X to the 7th power. Zet, thank you so much for being here. Laura O'Neill, Carol Sue Scott, Sarah Holman, Lunice. Who else we got? We got Nightbot, our good old faithful Nightbot. Cat loves cat skills. Thank you, Hound Doggy.
Hound Doggy. Hey, now I don't know who Hound Doggy is, but way to go, Hound Doggy.
Hound Doggy is in the house. Louise Powell is going to check us tomorrow. Sherry Falls is here. Thank you so much for joining. And all the way from Virginia. And we got a good little crew going on tonight. Casey Lee just showed up. What's going on? You're frozen. I don't know if that's just me.
Frozen?
You're still frozen. I'm going to take you out and bring you back in.
Hey,
there we go. I took you out and put you back in, and now it works.
Oh, there we go. Hey, IT, don't you love it, boy?
Yeah, I think your connection's a little slow.
Yeah. Hard stuff.
But anyways, so what was I saying? Talk to me a little bit about
dealing with entertainment. Ooh, bud.
Talk to me a little bit about your experience in the incarceration system with dealing with inmates and what maybe perhaps he's going to be facing moving forward.
Okay. The number one thing that you want to take into prison is influence. And you see very clearly when you go into prisons who has it and who doesn't. You think, well, the tough, rugged man. No, man, the person who comes in and knows that they know. A great example in South Carolina, Murdaugh. Let me tell you, if you don't think Murdaugh walked in and he got the attention of everybody there, you have missed it. Because he brought in South Carolina influence. And every facility has probably 5 what you would consider influential people. And those influential people live a whole different life. But no matter what they live, they're incarcerated. But if you have enough influence, you can have influence outside of the prison. And that's a big deal. So I've seen that those characters in the system, working the system, and people going in and not doing well. You know, there's one of the things that people don't get about prisons in their area is usually it's a family affair. They all know each other. They have cousins and second cousin and third cousins and people down the block and neighbors that are all there. You know, there's a strata of prison goers. And so it's a lot of people think, oh, it's terrible to go to prison. They're thinking, no, I'm going to see everybody I know. It's going to be a family reunion. That's prison in your area. You know, now when they take somebody from South Carolina and put them in prison in Missouri, now you got then you better bring high dollar influence because you're not going to have the locals that know you.
Yeah, it's I remember, going to visit my father in prison, and they have those they have those little cash machines.
Yeah.
That you can add stuff to when you walk in. And I remember asking my dad, or I didn't even ask him. He told me. He's like, that's how they. He's like, not only on your way out, could you put some cash in that little machine on that card for me so I can get stuff from the commissary? But he also said, he was also explaining to me how they use that. You can take out something like and deposit something around at least this is the state of Ohio, $600 a day in cash that's not accounted for.
There's people that are prison wealthy.
Yes.
People don't get that. Oh no, you go to prison, you're just destitute. No, there are people that are wealthy.
Yes.
And they have people in their system that comes in, not necessarily family. Great that your dad had you coming in and helping, but there are people that have people that every day, what's their job? They walk in, they put $600 in the account every day. That's their job. Yeah, it's wild. It's a whole prison in America is a whole other culture. It is not the culture that the majority of people are used to. See, because you dealt with your dad, you became aware and comfortable with the system. Oh, this is a system. This is the system I use. This is what I have to do to get access to my dad. Boom. And that's what you did. And that if people are not willing to do that, they have no access to the people in jail. But at the level like Diddy, Lordy, number one, he's got a lot of people outside. Number two, he's got a lot of people inside. And number three, he is not suffering. The whole idea that Diddy suffering is a hoot. Woo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say that he's probably suffering in a way of that he's, does not have his freedom. I mean, for me, I think, and you can analyze me if you want, because you are a clinical psychologist. As I say often on this show, I am not a lawyer. I am not a psychologist. I do not work in law enforcement. I'm just a guy who's been through a lot of shit. So everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt when it comes out of my mouth. However, I'm somebody who has this recurring dream. Well, it's really a nightmare, I should say, where I become incarcerated. I think it has to do directly with my father. And the nightmare, I think for me, the biggest nightmare is losing your freedom, not being able to be outside, to do the things that you want, whenever you want. That's to me the greatest consequence of all. I was interviewing somebody the other day and we were discussing the oubliette. You know what an oubliette is? Oh, he left. Ugh. Mover Nation, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I think Dr. Rogers' video he got kicked off. Hopefully he will be back. As I was discussing, the oubliette, which for those of you that don't know is a French term for a dungeon. These are usually cave dwellings, and they are places where no one can come out of. Can you hear me and see me is the question. Can you hear me and see me? I don't know what happened to Dr. Roger, but hopefully he will be back. Yeah, he was frozen. That's why I was texting people: is he frozen or not? So, but nobody responded. So, yeah, I don't know what went on, but bummer. Anyways, as we were discussing, the oubliette is a prison of where you are basically dropped into a hole, and there's a grate above you, and you can't get out. So, one of those things, it's definitely been a fear of mine. While we wait for Dr. Roger to join us back, let's pull up. There has been some more news that has come out about Diddy today. I think everybody's going to be talking about this for a very long time. And oh, look, there's a plea deal on Surviving the Survivor. They're talking about that. Oh yeah, Cat Williams on Diddy, Harvey Weinstein. Oh yeah, there's that. Member of Dr. Raj is back.
Hey,
buddy.
Wait a minute. You know what's going on?
What's happening?
Hurricane is coming by us. It blew out our internet.
Oh, the hurricane.
Yes. Yeah, the remnants of the hurricane's coming through South Carolina. And man, what you missed was just before we went off, a big boom, like an explosion. And the internet went down.
Transformer must have blown up.
Oh, so it's that's what there's why we're having the struggles with all this. But I'm glad I'm back.
Hurricane versus Wi-Fi. Yeah, thanks for making it back. I did not think about that. We don't have many hurricanes here in Southern California. We just have earthquakes. So
yeah, that's always something. When I lived in Oklahoma, it was tornadoes. How'd you deal with tornadoes? I said, yeah, in Oklahoma we call that spring.
Yeah, no kidding. In Ohio, it's what we call spring too.
Hurricane's like, no, that's spring. Okay, go down in the basement or get in the tub. Play it safe.
So for those who don't know what we're talking about, it's weird because when I explain it to my friends who live here in Southern California, what a tornado watch is, what it's like, what the preparation. First of all, the concept of a basement is foreign here in Southern California to begin with, unless you're rich enough to have a wine cellar. But the idea of a basement is foreign. But I'm like, exactly. You get in the bathtub. You go down in the basement,
right?
You get under table, you and it sounds like a train car, like a rail, like a locomotive.
Oh, without a doubt. It roars through and everything shakes. You know, and if you're lucky, you live in a neighborhood that has a quote unquote bomb shelter.
Yep.
That there was a time when people thought, well, Cuba's going to bomb us, so they built bomb shelters out in the country. So everybody would go down and they'd sit in this bomb shelter and you could hear it go by. And then you came out and everything was destroyed in front of you.
I remember the neighborhood that I lived in when I grew up. We lived on a hill and there was one common and it was really bad. And, but they tend to bounce over hills and they bounced over our hill and we didn't get anything.
Way to go.
That was gnarly.
Oh, buddy. It's see, and I'll tell you what threw me. I lived in New Orleans for a while, and they talked about hurricanes. And so I was like, oh my goodness, hurricane. And I said, they started a week before telling you the hurricane was coming. I said, you don't get any week before playing on tornadoes. A horn blows and you go down to the cellar that moment, because the next moment it's on you. It's a moment thing. It's not a week long, track it out, come on through. It's totally different between a hurricane and a tornado. Tornado is bad news right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Ugh, oy vey. Yeah, bad news right now indeed.
Good stuff.
Cherry Falls says, I'm in a basement right now. We're getting a bad storm here in Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, bud. Yeah, I'm down in the basement. I'm doing good. I broadcast from the basement, so I'm in good shape.
You're safe. Well, that's good.
I'm ready for it. Hey, I've got history, so I'm not worried about it.
Brenda Peacock says, the last time I visited California, I was in the 1989 San Francisco earthquake. I won't go back. Yeah, that was a gnarly one. I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, that is bad. Well, I can remember when I tried out for a show in LA and I kind of felt like things were moving and the crew goes, don't look up. so obviously what I do, I looked up and the lights were weaving from the earth. I'm like, oh Lord. I said, I hope they've secured those lights well. Yeah, every place has its thing.
Yes.
Fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes.
Well, we're fortunate enough to have two of those things here in Southern California. We have fires and earthquakes. And last winter we had was it August 21st? So really end of spring or August 20th. We had yes, my buddy was getting married, and then they had to cancel the wedding or postpone it. And because we had a hurricane, it was Hurricane Hillary. It was a storm, tropical storm. We ended up getting those, but I can remember the first time I was in an earthquake too here in Southern California, and I was sitting in this hotel in Anaheim. I was watching TV. It was my day off from work, and I was like on the 28th floor or something. I was working for a restaurant on Disney property, so Disney had a deal with this hotel because I hadn't found an apartment yet. And I remember watching the television. Then I look over and I see the fake plastic plant in the corner, just moving like this. I'm like, I didn't turn the air conditioning vent. Like, there's no vents on or whatever. And I'm watching the plant move, and then all of a sudden I start moving, and I was like, oh my God. I started freaking out. But I was like, what would you? I'm on the 28th floor. I'm looking out, and I'm like, and the building just starts moving. It was a good, I don't know, 10 seconds, 12 seconds. Yeah. Which doesn't sound like a long period of time.
Well, in your life, it's like an hour. 10 seconds in an earthquake's like an hour in real time.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. And that was my first time. I remember I called my friends back home and I said, guess what I just experienced?
Yeah, there we go. Hey, and so you get to put that in your book. I
get to put that in my book.
Yes, on 28th floor, man. You're a survivor. Way to go. Good move. Hey,
way to go, right? We did have some super chats. Woohoo! Cat loves Catskills. Super chat, super sticker. Tornadoes precede hurricanes. Tornadoes precede hurricanes.
It's like this, man. There's no comparison. Anybody who's been in a tornado and compares it to a hurricane is a liar. Let me just tell you straight. That's a lie. That's not true. They're not. Now, one thing that tornadoes don't have is the amount of rain. Now, when you have a hurricane, buddy, let me tell you, rains are coming, and it's not coming in drops. It's coming in buckets. It's like somebody up high is pouring buckets of water on you, and flooding is very severe. So you got to watch out for that. But now in a tornado, you just want to be underground and hope it doesn't kill you or anybody you know.
I gotta give a shout out to Sherry Falls, who's a member for 5 months. Sherry Falls, member for 5 months. I'm gonna start singing every time somebody gives me a super sticker or joins as a member. Thank you so much for your membership. Yeah, I gotta think of it.
Yeah, I got one of
these days.
Yeah.
All right, but we are here to talk about Diddy. I'm going to remove you and bring you back. Just maybe it'll refresh it again. Oh, there you go. You caught back up again. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Roger is in the midst of the throes of the hurricane coming through. Now, I guess traipsing up to South Carolina.
Yeah, it's going up. It's going up that way. We're just getting kind of the outer band of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta should have gotten it dead out coming off of Jacksonville and going up.
Oh yeah, and my client, I have a podcast called Mad Rush with Trisha Addicts that I produce, and she lives in Atlanta, and she was going to the beach today. I didn't even think about that.
Oh.
Marie Hathaway, super sticker, Marie Hathaway, super sticker, Marie Hathaway. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, buddy.
These are the things that I don't watch back, and I just I go, yeah, man, I don't know about that. That's you're reaching there, Collier. I got to get the guitar. Somebody said you got to get the guitar out, so I got the guitar downstairs. That'll be coming out within the next week.
What you need to do is get one of those small Hawaiian guitars.
Oh, a ukulele. I've got one of those. I don't really know how to.
Man, that's it, buddy. Let me tell you, they really get it done. Get the ukulele, play it, sing it, man. There it is. There's an orchestra right there.
awfully out of tune though.
Oh well.
I don't even know how this thing what to tune it to. I think I wrote it on the back.
Uh-oh. You can't have an out of tune ukulele. There's something.
No, it's awful, right?
Yeah. Got to kind of channel the spirit of the dead to get it into it.
I can't remember what it's supposed to be. I used to have it on the back of the headstock, but I guess I don't. I don't know what the tuning is. I'll have to figure that out.
Well, that's for viewers to watch continuing shows as you come in with your tuned ukulele.
Yeah, and it has a plug-in for my amplifier, so I can run it through the amplifier. Apparently, I totally, I got this during the pandemic because everybody was getting musical instruments during the pandemic.
Yeah,
which I already had plenty of musical instruments, but it was funny because I was like, oh, I'll get a ukulele because you couldn't get any. I was surprised I could find it because I had a studio in Burbank, a film studio. We weren't supposed to be working, but we were still working during the pandemic making content. But I was like, oh, a buddy of mine he's a musician and producer, and he's like, hey, I got a ukulele, and I was like, I need to get one too, and I got off of Amazon. But
good move, man. I'll tell you.
I'll have to tune that ukulele up. I worked with this amazing artist. Their name is LP, and they play ukulele, and they're amazing. They're an amazing singer-songwriter.
People subscribe, and you're going to be great too.
There we go. I love that. And guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit that like button on the way in. Now, should we start a poll, Dr. Roger? Everybody loves polls. What should we do a poll on? What do you think?
How bad are they going to persecute Diddy? That'd be a good one.
How bad are they going to prosecute
Diddy? And how many people are going to be caught in the web? All
right, let's see. How many people will go down with Diddy?
Yes, buddy. I guarantee you that's on people's minds. Not just the people that are watching, but the people that are involved. Buddy, big names out there.
So we're going to do just Diddy. We're going to do Diddy plus one. We're going to do
Diddy plus 5.
Diddy plus 5 or more. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, there you go, bud.
There we go. Diddy plus one. Diddy's got a plus 1. Just Diddy plus 1 or Diddy plus 5. 100% said Diddy plus 5 or more. Anyways, Debbie K has a super sticker, or is a super? I think it's a super sticker. Debbie K, super sticker, super chat, something. I don't really know what they are on YouTube, but because I'm using different software. But thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the sticker love. Yeah. And then we had Casey Lee. Casey Lee, thank you so much. Casey Lee, we love it so much. You have a peach that you gave us, Georgia peach. I don't know. Anyways, thank you.
That name sounds kind of country. Good way. Good. Good country songs got to have a good name.
A good country song does have a good name. First music video I ever shot was with Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
And Billy Ray Cyrus and Dionne Warwick. And
Dionne Warwick and Billy Ray Cyrus. Okay, let's talk about mixed.
It was amazing because my mother loved Dionne Warwick growing up. And then I worked with Dionne, and it was so cool because her entire family showed up and supported her. And it was amazing. It was like 10 years ago now.
Yeah, amazing. Well, that's old school. Old school, but when everybody in your family went.
Yeah.
When you were involved in somebody, everybody in your family was there. They bring in rocking chairs for Granny to sit while the session was going on. That's old school recording right there.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool, and we recorded at. I can't even remember. It was right in North Hollywood. This guy had just bought the studio and redid it. It was an amazing big live room. But anyways, yeah, Billy Ray Cyrus is super cool. We had a lot of fun. I got the photos somewhere. I should put them on my.
As you get older, fun means more. You look back on the fun moments and go, man, buddy, that was special.
But I'll tell you what, when we went to deliver the music video, and I have this on YouTube, it's just not public. I'll have to pull it up and play it one day. It's only like a 10-second clip, but he was doing a show called Still the King. I went over to Miley's house because that's where he was hanging, because she bought a house right next door to his house. He lived in Toluca Lake at the time. And by house, I mean estate. Like, let's just keep it real. It's like a compound. But he had like a teepee, and then he had this other studio at Miley's place, and we were hanging in there. And the director says, Collier sings and plays guitar. And so Billy is a lefty, so playing guitar this way, right? Or I guess
right. Like
this way. Yeah, like Hendrix style, exactly.
Yeah, that's
and he comes to me and he goes, and he's like, "Oh, brother," and this is my bad Billy, but he's such a nice guy. So I'm not making fun of him. He's an amazing individual. At least when I worked with him, he was very kind to me and my crew. He's like, "Hey, brother," you play guitar? I got some. You're a righty, right? And I was like, "Yeah." And he runs over and he goes to the cabinet, and there's 50 guitars in this cabinet. So I'm like, oh, and he comes back and he goes. And it's an ovation. I don't like ovations because they have like a rounded back, so they're kind of hard to hold.
I'm familiar with them.
But he comes over and he goes, brother, in 1993, when I recorded Achy Breaky, Neil Diamond gave me this guitar, and no one's ever played it because I'm a lefty. I want you to play this guitar for me. And sure enough, I look at the guitar, and it says, to Mr. Achy Breaky, with love, keep on playing Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond's signature on the guitar, 1993. And I was like, okay, so I'm playing Neil Diamond's guitar for Billy Ray Cyrus in Miley's house. Okay, got it.
There you go. Now, that works.
What does a good Ohio boy choose to play for a country superstar?
Sweet Home Alabama.
No. Van Morrison.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Into the Mystic. And then I mixed it and I started playing Old Crow Medicine Show.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
get it down south to the land of the pines. I'm thumbing my way into North Carolina.
There we go.
Yep. Stand up the road and pray to God I see headlights. Anyways, I feel like we can add a musical element to this because, we are talking about a musician after all, being Diddy and all those people that are all those people that have been affected. But
you can see the connection and the draw of the music industry.
100%.
It does. It's intertwined,
100%.
I was sitting down at a cocktail wasn't a cocktail party, it was a pre-wedding party with 5 other guys in the living room, and guess what the conversation was about? We were a bunch of old dudes, and we were all comparing what concerts we had seen.
Oh, wow.
And then we were just going and talking about things, and one guy goes, well, I saw the Beatles live. Well, that was the end of that discussion. It's like, really? Yeah. They played down close to Columbia. You're like, oh, my Lord. In some backwoods, this clown saw the Beatles, And I said, there's no beating you. I don't care who you bring up, The Stones, Zeppelin, they're just way back down the list of the Beatles.
So I got a really weird sort of wild Beatles story, which was not, and we're at 80 votes right now. We're 6 minutes into our poll, and 80 votes. 89% say Diddy +5.
There we go.
Did a reservation. Diddy +5.
When you said more than 5, you had it right there. I said, oh man. Yeah.
So my interesting Beatles story, which is not really an interesting Beatles story, but it is an interesting story when you think about it, is I remember I was friends with David Geffen when I first moved to Los Angeles, as any attractive young man who is, I suppose. And I remember I asked him one time, I said, "Hey, DG," because that's what he goes by. I said, because he was for those of you who don't know him, DreamWorks SKG, but he founded Asylum Records, and we're talking Joni Mitchell, the Eagles, Jackson Brown.
That's what, and how that connects with Diddy. That's, there's a level above all levels, and there's a group there that is above all groups.
There is a group that is above all groups.
Diddy's one of those. Beyonce's one of those. Adele's one of those. It's just they're in a.
Uh-oh. I think the hurricane's affecting you.
Yeah, buddy, it's going to come in and out.
What
about the Beatles?
Yeah, so I said to him, because I knew that he had signed John Lennon. And I said, to a solo act when he left the Beatles. And I said, what was it like meeting, what was it like to know John Lennon? And I kid you not, he says to me, "I can remember watching him take his last breath." Now, if that isn't a story. Oh, did I
Man.
Can you imagine that? Like, that's the thing that came out of this man's mouth.
Out of the room right there. That sucks the air out of the room. Right?
I'm like,
woo.
That was so not the story that I was expecting to hear.
Yeah.
Or the answer that I expected to hear.
Oh, no. I mean, who could have thought, man? He was there.
I just was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, yeah, it was me, Yoko, John, and the doctor in that room when I watched him take his last breath.
Wow. Ooh, that's chilling. That is a great moment,
I don't know how. It's just so not the answer that I was.
Yeah, it's a day in the life. That's really what's going on.
I was like, wow, that is absolutely that was not what I was expecting. Then we started talking about Laura Nyro.
World. And that's part of what I love, that because I think that fits in with what we're talking about here.
Sure.
Diddy is not, quote unquote, a regular human being. Diddy does not live in regular human terms.
Sure.
He's Diddy. He lives in Diddy world, and he's connected to people that are so out of our knowledge it isn't even funny.
Yeah.
He's King Spider in that culture, and the web that he spun, and what they've done is they've caught the spider.
All right. So she says since we're doing singing super chats, just 2 lines of Into the Mystic, one of my all-time faves. All right. And when that foghorn blows, I'll be coming home. And when that foghorn whistle blows, I gotta hear it. I ain't gotta fear it, 'cause I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. Oh, and magnificently we will fall into the mystic. There you go.
Very good. Hey, buddy, we got a melodic podcast tonight. That's what's good. In the middle of the thunderstorm coming through South Carolina, you're bringing the tunes in, which is perfect since we're talking about Diddy, because he's about the tunes. Now in Espanol.
Yeah, no, I don't know it that well. My Espanol is not that good. But thank you so much, Susie Irish, for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. We'll have to do a better rendition one of these days. Still one of my favorite Van Morrison songs of absolute all-time favorite. It's funny because I was, I started doing the little singing super chats yesterday on my live for the first time. suggestion by Zet here, who's a mod in the chat. And she said, yeah, you should sing more. I was like, well, I love to sing because that's what I went to school for. And somebody writes in the comments last night or this morning. I'm checking them like 6 a.m. when I get up, and they say, I love your show, but you got to lay off the weed. I thought to myself, like, first of all, I'm a sober being, but I'm like, if you like, do you think I could do any of this if I was stoned? Come on. It's kind of funny. I got a kick out of that. Oh, did we lose you again, Dr. Raj? Let's see. I think we lost him again. We lost him again. The storm is ahead. Yeah, I thought that was weird too. They're like, dude, I love you, but you got to lay off the weed. And I'm like to myself, first of all, I got an inhaler sitting here at the desk. I'm not partaking in anything that you have to smoke. That's the first part. Oh, that's the first part. Casey Lee, thank you so much for joining. Thank you all. I hope this is entertaining to everybody. I actually enjoy singing on the show. I've done it a few times before, but it was a suggestion. So Dr. Raj and I we're talking about P. Diddy, but now we're engaged in all kinds of other chat. And I hope you all like this. This is a very unconventional live, which is what I think I'm going for nowadays. You guys come here to see me, right? So we don't need to talk about all the same old boring stuff. But we are going to continue to talk about Diddy and Diddy's life in prison and his behavior in jail and what he's looking for. Sing me Elton. Oh boy. Sing me my Elton, says Sherry Falls. All right, let me think. Let me think of a good Elton song that oh, there he is. He's back.
Have you not Spanish while I've been gone?
What? It's getting a little wacky. Yeah, it's a little digitized.
Okay. I can hear it going over me, buddy. Thunder and lightning, buddy.
Yeah, thunder and lightning. All right. So we have an Elton John request. So and I guess that's why they call it the blues. Time on my hands could be time spent with you. Laughing like children, living like lovers, rolling like thunder under the covers. And I guess that's why they call it the blues. There you go. This is one of my all-time Elton John favorite Elton John songs. While Dr. Rogers cuts in and out of this of this episode, freezes on us. Dr. Raj is in South Carolina, where the remnants of the hurricane are coming back and forth, and so this has just turned into a little karaoke session. Yeah, if you buy, maybe this is what I should just be doing for all my lives. Oh, that's your favorite. That's so good to know. Sherry Falls, also one of my favorite Elton John songs of all time. Absolutely. Dr. Raj just disappeared off the StreamYard again. America's Got Talent. I guess so. Yeah. So anyways, I'm glad that's one of your favorites. Yeah. One of my all-time. Oh, Brenda Peacock. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. Wow. All I have to do is just open up the vocal cords, something that I love doing. I guess I never really talk about this, but I went to music school. That's why you see the guitars in the background. Not that I'm a great guitar player, because I'm not, but I did go to school for voice at the Ohio University School of Music and at Oberlin Conservatory, where I ended up going after I dropped out of OU, and then I dropped out of Oberlin and moved to Los Angeles. So that is my background. Thank you so much, Brenda Peacock. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Brenda Peacock. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your support means the world to me. Yeah, yeah. Something like that. Thank you very much. But you can also request a song. If I know it, I'll pull it up. You serenaded me onto the show as I came in. Thanks, very nice. Says Sharita Hall. Thank you so much. More treats for Marisol. Yeah, you better believe it. She had a little collagen treat today, which I gave her yesterday during the live, and she decided to. She's carried it through today. America's Got Talent. Will Collier's Got Talent. Thank you so much, Michelle O'Hare. Thank you, Michelle O'Hare. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're headed to Oberlin next week. Yeah, Oberlin, Ohio. I mean, great school for real. Wonderful liberal arts college. I studied with Dr. Richard Miller, who wrote the book called going to add him. Training Tenor Voices was the book that I originally read, but he wrote all the books on vocal pedagogy. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Rhoades.
From the storm, surviving from the storm. This is the Storm podcast.
You know, I mean, like I said, we improvise, right?
Yeah, singing through the storms. What we should call this podcast series.
You know, it's I think we're on to something with the singing, and I got to tell you, I love doing it.
Well, you know what? It's kind of like when you knew someone who had musical talent, and you were hanging out in their living room, and they would just break out into something because everybody was bored, and all of a sudden they would pull out a Elton John song, and everybody would be going like, "Yeah, buddy!" And so. That's what it feels like. You know, I'm on the couch, and Collier's like pulling out Elton John. Good deal.
Yeah. You know, it's sing on cue. It's like the thing is, you know, so many people love karaoke.
Yeah.
You love going to karaoke bars and doing the whole thing. And I was one of those people that avoided that like the plague. I hate doing karaoke, but my friend, a good friend of mine, David, I've known him since 2000. We were on a television show together. We were on the final episode of the last season of Extreme Makeover, of the first season of Extreme Makeover. They did a runway show at the end of the final episode, and I was one of the models. He was one of the models, and we became friends. I was his first friend in Los Angeles, and he throws these parties. He's going to have a Halloween party any moment here. This was his big thing, but he does karaoke parties, and he used to rent a machine to come in. Now he's got a whole system set up, and now you can just do it through YouTube. So you can pull it up through YouTube and do karaoke. You pull up the YouTube video and you sing it.
Yeah, there we go.
I always walk in, and he knows that I hate it, but he knows that I love to sing, and he loves to hear me sing. And he'll tell people because I don't care, whatever. I'll do whatever. I'm down for whatever. But there are people that come to his parties specifically to show off their vocal talent. And so what he does is to try to get their goat. He's like, "Oh, you think you can sing? What do you hear this boy sing?" Well, and I'm like, David, I'm not trying to. It's not a sing off. This isn't like Jets versus Sharks.
Yeah.
You know, we're not doing this. This is just me. I'm just trying. I want to eat some food. I want to watch y'all drink so I can go, thank God I don't drink anymore, and laugh. And he makes these molasses cookies. And I'm like, sometimes I'll have some of his molasses cookies. Like, that's what I'm there for, right?
Yeah.
And so the last time he had me, I said, I came there and I was like, I know he's going to ask me to sing. So I pulled up. So I had 2 songs ready to go. And I'm not a huge country fan at all. I mean, like I said, I worked with Billy Ray Cyrus and I did that, but I didn't grow up a country fan, but I love country music now. And like Chris Stapleton, Shabuzi,
now, imagine I grew up in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Garth Brooks. Yeah,
man. I couldn't name a Garth Brooks song to save my life.
Buddy. There it is, bud.
What is the big Garth Brooks hit?
I got friends in low places.
I got friends in low places. Is that that song, right?
Yeah, that's it. There's the song, bud. And they at the Oklahoma State University where he met his first wife, he was a bartender at one of the bars there.
Okay.
And their football games, they sing that song.
That's funny. And is that where he got the lyrics from? Is that where he made the song from? He's like got friends in the bar.
He did have. Wait a minute. When you have okie drunk friends, you got friends in low places, dude. Let me tell you that straight up. So yeah, bud. Down at Stillwater is not a metro area where Oklahoma State is.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, bud. when we say country bar, that's country with a capital C.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, buddy.
Call your walks the line. I walk the line. Yeah. So my friend Sophia, who tells me that I look like Joaquin Phoenix. Speaking of walk the line, right? She got me this. She calls this the emotional support water bottle by Ello, and it has a little flip top, and you can just. I get my water out of it. So I have a new bottle from. Shout out to Sophia for getting me this water bottle. Thank you so much. But she tells me I look like Joaquin Phoenix. So since Zet mentioned walk the line, there you go. Guys, smash that like button if you're on your way in or on your way out, please. Nana Patty says, Okie here. Aunt Jemima says, blues and country. Dr. Roger, did you freeze again? You froze again, didn't you? He froze again. Well, you know what? Dr. Raj, I'm going to remove him for a sec. Yep, he removed himself. He's going in and out. We are trying to discuss Diddy and Diddy's stint in jail, but it has turned into a little bit of a sing-along. We're doing Super Sicker sing-along, which is probably something I should have done a long time ago. But thank you to everyone who's bought a super sticker and a super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Your support means the world to me. Helps me grow the channel. Allows me to do more of these lives because this is a lot of fun. Not going to lie. TJ White, hello from Puto, Oklahoma. Yeah, he's frozen. Hopefully I'm not frozen. Your song by Elton John. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that's done. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I added an extra I hope you don't mind in there. And I hope you don't mind. Speaking about music, what is everyone's favorite Puff Daddy song? That's an unfortunate thing. I'm a big fan of Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace, R.I.P., which now makes me believe, do we think that which was always the rumor, that he had a hand in his death and Tupac Shakur's death? Obviously, all of that had a lot to do with the meteoric rise of his empire. So I wonder if that is going to come out. Chief Keef, who is incarcerated currently in Las Vegas, Nevada, has said many times, and I believe I covered it on an episode of the show was last summer. I believe it. I believe he has alleged that he was involved in all that. So we'll see if all that stuff comes out. Talk about soft white underbelly interview. Yeah, I will talk about that a little later on in the week as we get closer. I like Yankee Doodle. I like Daddy Yankee. I don't know Daddy Yankee. There was more Weinstein, but nothing done. Same old same. Here he is. He's back.
Live from the thunderstorms in South Carolina, Dr. Roger Rhoades.
He's back again, live from the thunderstorms of South Carolina, the basement he calls his home. Dr. Roger Rhoades.
There we go.
Hey, there you go. Buddy.
Yeah, buddy. What musical numbers have I missed since I've been out on the storm?
Your song by Elton John was requested as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I added an extra set of lyrics in there, but that's okay. Tu eres una Boricua o Dominicana moja, Yanina. Are you from the Dominican Republic or are you Puerto Rican? Now that Zet wrote that, I now know how to spell Boricua. Anyways, back to what we're talking about, man. I don't even know where we were at.
Right. Yeah.
Diddy's in prison. You were talking about how you've had obviously done work behind the prison walls. Yeah. I've spent a lot of time behind prison walls and visiting rooms. I think what we were talking about was the flow of money, because somebody had, as I said at the start of the program, somebody had texted me and said, he's getting steak and he's getting $160 a day. And I said, that's pretty low, because I remember, as I was saying,
fresh lobster. What are you talking about, man? He's not going to get steak. He's getting fresh lobster. Favorite wine.
And people, I think, are saying, well, he's gonna have a tough, which he is gonna have a tough time. Like, let's not get it twisted. You were in prison, so it's a tough time, but it's not a tough time. It's probably for him, again, having access to massive amounts of resources. By himself.
More than we can imagine, or above the middle class lifestyle is his life in prison. Yeah, he's not suffering for Jesus, I promise you. Not. But
he will find Jesus. I mean, he's supposedly very religious to begin with. He will find Jesus while he's in there. My father definitely found God when he went to prison. In fact, I have his.
Way to go, Dad.
It's like a 1,200 page dissertation because he got his master's in divinity. It's underneath my desk right now. I have not dared to read it, but I've heard.
You need to set that to music and make a podcast of you singing your dad's dissertation from the middle school. That'd be a deal.
Could you imagine?
I can't, but I'd love to see it.
Like, I have a quote on my arm from David Foster Wallace's magnum opus, Infinite Jest, which is about 1,300 pages, I believe, give or take. Ooh. My father's dissertation is longer than that, and I have not dared to read Infinite Jest in its entirety. So I don't know if I could make it through a dissertation, which probably half gaslights me and blames me and my mother at the same time for her own murder.
Yeah, what I would suggest as a therapist is to read it with a highlighter, okay? And things that seem to touch base with you, highlight it, okay? And then make a song from the highlighted moments. And that will be a moment of awareness for you.
Here it is.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Toward a theology of Christ in social restoration. A dissertation submitted in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Ministry.
There we go.
Vision International University, Ramona, California.
There we go. Hey, and my gut says there's a song in those pages.
There probably is. There's a lot of footnotes.
Yeah, I'd take a blackout to the footnotes, and I would highlight the things that rocked your world.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that. This is just part one, though. So there's many other ones, but there we go. We can show that to the audience.
And the good thing is you could be song part one, and then when another one comes, song part two.
That's not a bad idea.
Anthology album.
Yeah. And then
awareness, religious awareness from prison by your dad. There we go.
Yes. Do I need a place to get? Do you need a place to get rid of Marisol's waste? A good place for it, I think, says Sharita Hall. That's very funny. Little Mighty Soul. No. Yes, I agree. Cat Loves Catskill says he is used to luxurious housing and he is sitting in a cell. He has lost his freedom. Yeah, absolutely. It is not a luxury hotel that he is staying at.
No. But everything that can be done will be done.
Because you pay off. I mean, there's a reason why drugs are so prevalent in jails and in prisons.
Right.
It ain't because they're getting them. The inmates are walking them in, or they're always saying it's the visitation people, or no, it's the guards. Like, we all know this.
Yeah, but you don't want to rock the boat. And let's not act like Diddy is not a person of influence.
Yeah, for sure.
And that he does not know people who are connected to him in that jail.
Yeah.
Because he does. And so, who wouldn't want to do for Diddy if they thought Diddy might get out, or while he's in there, pull some strings, because it's all about connection. How can this man help me get a connection?
How many inmates do you think have demos? Come on. Nowadays, come on. Probably all of them.
Wait a minute. Every one of them.
Every one of them.
Right. So here's a guy at the top. You know, he has snacks with Queen Bee and Jay-Z. So he's not slacking any. His best friend's LeBron James. Come on, dude.
Is LeBron? Hold on. Is LeBron James friends with Diddy? Oh, he's friends with Jay-Z. I didn't know he was friends with Diddy.
No, LeBron James. There's pictures of LeBron James hugging Diddy. Oh no, man. They're tight. They tight. And then you've got who's the pastor in Texas? T.D. Jakes and him are tight. So man, he's got them in all levels and all ways, and oh my goodness,
that's a lot. Yeah, I mean, somebody's going to be looking out for them. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you know, we're not trying to minimize being held in prison.
No, not at all.
Because prison is prison. And
yes.
It does keep him in a certain area. But to believe that he's like the inmates on movies, you know, where he's with a bunkmate and they don't have anything and they use an open toilet and no, Diddy doesn't live like that.
Yeah.
No, because you're right. If there's a guard and a guard has a tune and a demo tape, how's he going to treat or allow for the treatment of Diddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And wait a minute, who in that prison, I would ask you this, who in that prison doesn't know Diddy? Who doesn't know Diddy? Everybody knows Diddy.
And you know, it's interesting too, because you know, I think about, you know, so when I would go to prison and see my father, right? And you would see there's I mean, you know this, there's gangs in prison, and they all
have rules.
They all have rules, and they all have their own sections of the prison where they are in control of, right? And
wait a minute. Let's be honest. Diddy doesn't have that.
No, Diddy does not have that.
Diddy's gang is the prison. Okay.
Yeah.
And he is the king of the prison.
Well, I think that's where I think I might differ on that, because I think that he has to, you know, there are people that are already in charge there. So he's either going to pay them off. You think it's the other way around?
I guarantee you, when he walked in as number one.
You think so?
Yes, I do. Because of what you and I so easily talk about, connections. What is prison but the land of connections? The power of connections. Who knows who? Who knows about what? Who wants what? Who's willing to pay for what? You help me with this. What is available in prison that Diddy can't get?
Yeah.
Who is in prison with him that he can't connect with somebody that can make that person's life a hell on earth?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's upper level, you know.
So part of the reason why they're trying to keep him inside and locked up until his you know, trial is that he won't have access to be able to intimidate witnesses on the outside and personally access them. You think that's rubbish?
What a fib. Come on now, you know better than that. You know, that it's just they're trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
You know, everybody is dealt with equally under the law. What a joke. Will he be dealt with equally? No. Will the best of the best of the best represent Diddy? Yeah. Will his connections quiet people that might come up and say stuff? And some of the stuff that's coming out are coming out from dead people. They died, so you can't intimidate them.
Yeah.
That his ex-wife, they got stuff from her. Well, they can, here it is, because she's already dead.
Yeah, Kim Porter, God rest her soul.
Right. But think about all the people who in the world who wants a career in entertainment or some level of, God, there's many levels of entertainment.
Sure.
Are willing to put that on the line to cross Diddy.
It's a good point, Dr. Raj.
Well, I mean, it's just I've seen prison. I've seen how it operates, and it is no doubt a structure of hierarchy. There is the ones and the twos and the threes and the fours, and everybody respects that level.
You know what? You said the ones, the twos, the threes, and fours. It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Don't tell me that.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
It's ready to go right there.
You had to. There was another super sticker. I had to do it.
Yeah, there you go. Hey. Yeah, I want to hear the song.
Leonard Cohen.
There we go. Sherry's got it down. Oh, she's seeing it and realizing. Yeah. Yeah, we're there was an old saying back in the day, and it was the circus is in town. And everyone was excited. Well, wait a minute. Diddy's on trial. The circus is in town.
That's a good point.
Was on trial. He died. The circus was in town. It left. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? So let's go to our poll again.
Okay. Yeah. Who thinks it's just Diddy?
Yeah. Who thinks it's just Diddy? Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got 169 votes. 85%, an overwhelming 85% say Diddy plus 5. Diddy for 5.
Because that's good odds, because it's Diddy plus thousands.
Yeah.
That's the real truth. We would be astounded if we knew all the people who are notable on camera, on Diddy's cameras. I think that would just floor us. We'd be like, the who's who of the industry have got to be on there.
I'm sure it's just going to be. I'm sure it's just going to be terrible.
Ooh, or it's going to be controllable.
Ooh,
that's what we're going to see. We're either going to see it bring him down, or show us that he's got a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that has that answer. I think the people who know they're on camera are scared.
I'm sure.
I don't know if they're on camera or not, are scared. Because these are people that rely on reputation. And could this be a reputation killer? And the answer that it could be. And imagine if you'd worked so hard and paid so much money to be where you are, and all of a sudden you're on a Diddy tape. Right, one moment that you thought, well, this was my entree into connections, and it was going to move me up a couple of levels, and all of a sudden I fall to the bottom. How tragic. How tragic. But we're seeing that around, Epstein, Weinstein, Maxwell. We're seeing where the mighty fall. And now we're again with Diddy. Is the mighty going to fall? Are the minions around Diddy going to fall? And who knows? Again, I know that there are people in the entertainment business who are shaking. Now, I see a super sticker.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
It's a super sticker. Karen Isabel Stewart. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Yeah. Super sticker. Yeah. Super sticker. Yeah.
Buddy, you gotta love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We
She just joined.
Sticker.
She just joined. She said, I'm joining late from Oy vey from the Nashville area. Well,
yeah.
Yeah. And let's not forget to, we are talking about his life in prison and what it's like. I mean, these are unfortunately very realistic scenarios.
We're talking about the life he's chosen.
Yeah.
Let's not act like, just out of this poor young man.
No. Oh, no.
No, man. This is calculated. And he rose up and he put himself in the sights of people that could shoot at him. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah. And, I think that the thing is, and again, let's not forget there are, as I said at the start of the program, there's not only the victims who he directly impacted, right? But then there's the ancillary victims who have been implicated in this, whether they were the caterer or the videographer or the people who supplied the equipment or the people who were just attending the party, didn't know what was going on behind closed doors that now might be questioned by the feds.
The word here, Collier, it's called accountability.
Yeah.
It's called accountability. And, everything looks good until you see the cost.
Yeah.
And that was a culture that said the tickets never come due.
Sure.
And ancillary people didn't think a ticket would come through.
Or they weren't even aware that the ticket was coming through. They just thought they were at a party or just doing whatever.
I doubt that.
But you're talking about like a caterer.
I don't know what this means, but I'm going to help out P. Diddy have a party, and I'm going to provide him this service.
Yeah.
And because it's P. Diddy, I'm going to adjust the charge to seek his favor.
You never know, but I think the celebrities, the people who have been a part of this, I think there's a lot of people shaking in their boots.
Oh man, there's the story. There's the real story. When you dance with the spider, bad things can happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think people would rather talk about him eating steak in prison and about that than talk about that there's a whole arrangement of dominoes that could fall and affect, like you say, people who are just ancillaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what makes it, to me, psychologically, a big deal. It's a big deal because the tickets are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've seen, if they've kept him in jail 2 times and not allowed him bond, they're serious. They're not playing.
No, they're not playing. They're not playing. And they're coming for a lot of people. I think it's just, I think you're just going to see. It's sort of like somebody said there was the music industry's Me Too, although I thought that already happened, I guess. But you're seeing a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of other dominoes falling, and I think you're going to see a lot of other abusers too.
Yes,
that are going to be held accountable. There's a lot of talk about Marilyn Manson, and there's a doc that came out and things like that. So, there's a lot of victims of these people that have been exploited over the years. And I think you're going to start seeing those tickets come due.
Yeah, I think that there's a whole crowd in waiting, saying the day's coming. The day's coming. And you're right. I think this is just another domino. Epstein was a domino. Maxwell was a domino. These are major players that people thought were invincible. They were power brokers, but at the core, they were evil.
Absolutely.
And so what we're really seeing psychologically is good versus evil.
Yeah.
And boy, do I believe it's going to be a battle? You better believe it. And is it going to be a battle beyond you and I's imagination?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're intertwined with the people that are dominoes in this game, and they're going to fall. That's going to be not too many entertainment people in South Carolina.
No.
Yeah. No,
they're not.
But probably there's more than we can imagine all over the states. It's he's a big spider with a large web.
Somebody, Shrina Hall says, it would not surprise me if he is taken out in prison. I hope he is not. I want to see the justice system play out. That seems like an easy way out. I don't think he's going to allow that to happen. I think he's got enough protection in there. I'd imagine. Yeah. Enough money for it.
Since Epstein, that's already been done.
Yeah.
So do I think it's coming with Diddy? No. I mean, that would really tear up the judicial system of that area.
Yeah.
You're ineffective, and all we got to do is get them there, and we can kill them. They're kind of what they would look like. I believe would be a mob hit. The mob of the establishment government hitting them. And they got away with that once. My gut says I don't think they're going twice.
Yeah. Miss K says some of the people who he hired were victims like the bartenders. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that, I think the lower people in the totem pole who are just trying to work a job, you can't. It's terrible.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being a major blow to that crowd.
Yeah.
But if you're the star basketball player in the NBA, that's a big deal.
That's probably a really big deal.
If you're one of the top 10 producers or directors of an industry, yeah, that's a big deal. So the real issue will be touching the untouchable. That's be interesting. The bartender, I think the majority of people say, and I think the legal system would say it's not worth the effort and the money it would take to bring down the bartender.
Yeah, I would hope so.
If we could bring down the MBA of something, bud, and put a star on our badge right there. So that would be the person I would be. Or if I'm up and coming.
Yeah.
That would be not only people that are already there, but the people who want to be there and are counting on the connection to get there. Because nobody makes it big unconnected. That doesn't happen. Oh, I was being me, and I was sitting in my house, and all of a sudden I got on YouTube, and I'm a millionaire. Yeah. Okay. Checks in the mail. Oh, that isn't how it works.
Hopefully that checks in mail for me one of these days.
Well, when you're singing,
get on YouTube and be a millionaire. Hey, you never know. We've uncovered a new little shtick.
There we go. Hey, and it's not a stick; it's a gift.
It is a gift. You're right. Absolutely.
It's not like you're doing that for nothing. You're doing that in line with the people who are, connecting with your channel.
That's a good point.
And it's your way and your style of saying thank you.
Yeah.
Point. That's a deal.
That's a good point. Dr. Roger, thank you so much for being on the program.
Yeah, through the storms and everything, we made it through. And with singing and with contributing and with all the stuff that's going on, man.
Yeah.
We did the deal.
We did the deal, man. I'll have you back very soon. You're always a hoot. Everybody loves you. Everybody's writing in the chat. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. One thing I have to say to all of them. Yeehaw! Yeah. That's what. Get her done. Get her done.
Get her done.
Buddy, love them. Love them. Love them.
Dr. Roger Rhoades is my guest today. I have links to his stuff in the show notes of today's episode. But Dr. Roger, where can everybody find you?
At drrogerrhoades.com. Oh, wait a minute. At Dr. Rhoades @gmail.com. That would be how you got me.
Dr. Rhoades or Dr. Roger Rhoades?
Dr. Roger Rhoades. And here's the hard thing. Rhoades is Rhoades, and it's naturally spelled Rhodes without the A, but
Yeah.
he always putting stuff in there. So he put an A. So Dr. Roger Rhoades, all one word in lowercase, and then @gmail.com. And that'll reach me, and I'll tell them everything I know. Now, that's not a lot, but I'll be more than glad to share what I got.
Thank you so much. You don't have any social media, do you, at all?
Not yet, but you never know. I know this singer from California.
I know Steve Cohen, producer over the Surviving the Survivor, has been. You guys have been talking about. I'm like, gotta get Dr. Raj to do an Instagram or something. So
yeah, I got to get there. It's all about the right time.
It's all about the right time.
I think probably I can tell you 100% is you see me now, you see me in a week, see me at the mall, see me at church, same guy. This is it. If you don't like this guy, I tell you right now, you're not going to like me. I don't care where you see me.
We love we appreciate. I'm an authentic person. You're an authentic person.
Yeah.
River Nation is full of authentic people, and we're so grateful for you joining the program.
And one thing we've got to promise your crowd, one thing.
Yeah.
You're going to tune the ukulele and play it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, bud. Yeah,
you got it.
Now we're going to hold your feet to the fire on that one.
I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it.
Waiting for the moment.
All right, Dr. Roger Rhoades, thank you so much for joining the program.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. Mover Nation, we get through another one. Thank you all so much. I can take these headphones off now. Thank you all so much for joining the program. Sorry, it was a little bit of hiccups with Dr. Roger Rhoades. The hurricanes coming in South Carolina. But you guys stuck through it. Thank you so much for sticking through it. I hesitated. I forget to say this. We're going to wrap up our poll here real fast. We have our poll is at 190 votes. How many people will go down with Diddy? Oh, I put do down with Diddy. Oh, Collier, learn how to spell. Go down with Diddy. 9% said just Diddy. 7% said Diddy plus one. And then 84% of you said Diddy plus 5. 194 votes. If we get it to 200, I'll close the poll. 195. Let's see. If you haven't voted, by the way, guys, if you haven't, please smash that like button. It helps with the channel. It helps grow the podcast. It helps with all that stuff. 5 more votes left. And then I'm going to shut down the vote. So if you haven't voted, please click the like button if you wouldn't mind. Please smash that like button. And Judy House says I'm usually a lurker, even though I have been watching several crime podcasts. Well, thank you so much for jumping into the comments, and we greatly appreciate it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll at 195 votes. 84% says Diddy plus 5. Susie, last time promise. Oh, changes, turn and face the strange changes. I don't know the lyrics to that really well, so hold on. We got to do. I promise a better rendition of this. Come on. It's just the way it is. All right, hold on. Changes, turn and face the strange are the changes. Oh no, that's changes. David Bowie. That's changes. Come on. You can do better than this. Changes, turn and face the strange changes. Don't want to be a richer man. Changes, turn and face the strange changes. There's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Yeah. Right. Thank you so much, Susie Irish, for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. Hey guys, I always say this. Time may change me, but I can't change time. Time may change me, but I can't change time. Oh, is that what it is? I can't change time. It says I can't trace time. Well, there you go. That's the official lyrics that just came up from Spotify. Well, sorry about that. You are welcome, Susie Irish. Thank you all so much. Hey, as I always say, guys, I know we talk about tough stuff on the program. Hopefully this is always a little bit of fun. I thank all of you so much for being a part of the program. And, remember, we engage in the chat. We have a lot of fun here, but always be kind to yourself. Don't take all this stuff too seriously. We are all fortunate enough to be just here talking on a program. We can walk away from this. Always keep the victims in mind and what they're going through, and honor the fact that they've gone through a serious struggle, and but also take away from it that you're not a part of that. You can walk away at any time, and that is a really precious gift that we all have. Please spend time with your families, love one another, take care of one another, and just be kind, because that's what we preach here on the show. On that note, Mover Nation, I'll see you on the next one. Here's the outro. Mover Nation, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my channel members and Patreon supporters. And for more exclusive content, behind the scenes videos, monthly VIP meet and greets, and watch parties, please consider supporting me on Patreon or by becoming a YouTube channel member. If you like this video, check out this one right here or this one right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because it helps with the algorithm. On that note, I'm Collier Landry. I'll see you on the next one. Good girl, Marisol. Good girl.